Okay guys, hi. So today I want to do a quick video on the cerebrospinal fluid. I mentioned in previous video that one of the big symptoms or side effects or like I guess tricks to know what's going on, or if you had a major down low or major like aha moment, if you want to call it that, or even like activations. One of the things that you're going to notice is that there is a lot of fluid being released, like a very clear fluid release in your brain. At the beginning I had no idea what it was, but I started taking notice of that, because at the beginning I thought, I was like, oh my god, what if I'm going sick? Because this fluid is like really like very crystalline, and sometimes it was a lot, so much so that, you know, maybe like 3-4 years ago I was like, would I be going sick? Like, what is going on with me? Because I didn't notice it before. Like, I always notice it, but it wasn't as much as like when it started very intensely around maybe 4 years ago, that I started noticing that every time I had an aha moment, every time I had like a deep experience, whether it was in a trance or a dream, or like if I was thinking about something and it was something that made sense, my brain would like release this fluid, and I would be like almost going into a trance sometimes, because it was so much release. And I think now people are trying to do a research that to clearly figure out if the CSF, the cerebrospinal fluid, has anything to do with DMT, because a lot of scientific in the scientific arena, I don't think they're really seen as related or as one having to do anything with the other. But I think they have, I did hear someone say that there might be some research going on about that, because when I started investigating, I couldn't find any evidence of what this could be. I started looking into different things until eventually I found a video that talked about the cerebrospinal fluid, and then I found a book, and I wasn't looking for this when I was going through trying to figure out what this was, because I really got really curious after some visions and even dreams, and I had revelations, and I was told to look into this little C, and then they gave me some other information that led to the fluid, and that's when I started putting 2 and 2 together. And then I found this book that talks about the fluid. Let's see if I can find it. And I thought it was very interesting, because it talks about breath work and how I don't know if you guys can see this, but it talks about breath work, and how the breath, because our body is connected, obviously the vertebra that starts here goes all the way down to this part here, and when we breathe, inhale and exhale, this thing gets activated and it has an effect on the brain. And that's why when we do breath work, we can go into a DMT experience, into a trance experience. And then I just took a note here, and then one of the things, well, I did this so I could show you this. So one of the things is like, so let's see this is our head, and then this is our vertebra, and then this is the sacrum here. This is like the root, the base of the vertebra is right here. Interestingly enough, it's like an inverted triangle, which I know we talked about that before in the video on how to activate candles and stuff like that. We talked about this triangle and what this will be, and how you can like activate things by using this triangle. Anyways, I thought that was really interesting, because when I was going through my notes, I found information about the triangle. I found information about the liquid that they told me. I found information about the it was like a little tiny seed that looked like a cone, and then I found information about how in some cultures this it's very much related to the third eye, because it is related to the third eye, to the pineal gland, and the cone is used as a symbol for the third eye, like the I don't know what they call it, the cone, I guess. But it's interesting too, because when I was going through my nose, I was like, this is where it starts, the back of our head, and we talked about this is the mouth of God chakra, and this chakra is where we have a lot of things happening. So it's interesting, because in kundalini, like if you look at the kundalini, right, and if you know about the kundalini energy comes from the base of the spine, and it goes up, and then in the fluid when it gets released, it goes down, and that's how this it's like a cycle, like it goes in circles, right? So it's like energy comes up, energy comes down, energy comes up, energy comes down. And anyways, I thought that was very interesting, because in the dreams, what I noticed is that when I have a lot of brain fluid release, is because something has happened in the dream that is important. Or sometimes if I have a lot of brain fluid release, my eyes will start going like this really, really fast, and then I will get tons of visions, even clear audience, and it's like an activation of some sort. And I haven't really seen a lot of information about people talking about their experience with the CSF, the cerebrospinal fluid. Some people might call it the christo fluid, because there is a lot of information on the different sacred books throughout the planet, talking about how this fluid is actually like pretty much like a gateway for us to understand who we come from. Like this is when we understand to work with this fluid and to activate this fluid faster, because normally we do it 3 to 4 times a day. Normally we produce this fluid, but when we produce the fluid so much, we can activate the it's like almost like a bliss state. Like when this fluid is coming, I know something amazing happened or it's going to happen. If I notice the fluid first thing in the morning when I wake up, I just lay there and I meditate, and then I will get tons of different information, almost like a window to another dimension. And this is one of the things that a lot of people might be experiencing, and they might not pay attention to it because they don't know how important it is to pay attention to this and understand what's happening. If you have brain fluid release while you're working or something like that, and you notice it, it might be like a message for you, like you know, like what were you thinking about, what happened, 2 and 2 happened, and therefore this happened. It's almost like a portal, I think. Almost like it's also used to release energy, because I noticed that when I'm going through a lot of release, this liquid happens, and it's almost like releasing energy to some other dimension that I don't even know about, and then I feel so much better. Or if I have this fluid release, what I notice is like if I go through my notes, my journal, I will see where I put brain fluid release, and every time that happens, I will be getting tons of integration, tons of vision, clear audience. My third eye will be completely wide open. I will even go into this moment of like complete bliss, complete like nirvana, where you just feel so connected to everything and everyone. The more it happens, the more I know, like if it's a lot, then I know, my goodness, something awesome is coming or something amazing happened. And then I go through my dream or my trances and try to understand 2 and 2. And sometimes it's like connecting things that happen in different dreams, and this fluid is released, and it's almost like disintegrating, and going through like portals or some song, and you just like everything makes sense. It's like and everything makes sense. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty cool. You might want to check out this book. This is the only book where I have seen good information about this. and how to use this talks specifically about breath work, but we know with breath work we can, that's why when we meditate, we have to breathe in certain ways to in order for us to like get to a trance state faster. Also, in one of the dreams that I had, I was being referred to like think about, like a lot of people meditate and they just sit there and like let go of everything, but it's like sometimes we have to activate things within our body in order for us to get to the trance state faster. But if you become really good at lucid dreaming, the brain fluid is going to happen automatically so much that you're going to be able to put two and two together faster. It's almost like speeding up your awakening by working with the brain fluid, cerebrospinal fluid, because you understand to put two and two together when you pay attention to the cues that you get, whether it is the fluid or maybe like an itch somewhere or something, then things start to make sense faster. So you have to like really study yourself. I did take a couple of notes here. I mean, the only thing that I will say is, because this is just from my dreams, the only thing that I will say is that a lot of people, when they experience the kundalini, the energy comes from the sacral all the way up. And when what I notice is that if you, sometimes what I do is that I try to bring the energy all the way up to here and then back down, and that's when I have like major trances. But also if your energy is coming from here, then you work with this energy and you sit there and you try to move it down and recycle it back up, and that way you can get to deeper state of meditation. So some people might see it as the eye of the soul, but that's because the brain fluid somehow I think is working very closely with the third eye. There is information about that, but it's very scientific, and I like the I'm not too much into that but if you want to find evidence of that, you can. There is a lot of information that is coming out on the scientific part of what is the brain fluid release. There is a guy on YouTube, I don't remember, Mauro, I think it might be his name, Dr. Mauro. I did see a video when I was trying to understand what was happening to me, and he did a good job explaining some of the things. But the most thing that has helped me the most is me studying myself and like trying to understand when something happened, then I know something else is going to come, and then I prepare, like I calm myself, I get ready, and I pay attention. So and then one thing that I thought it was very interesting is like every stem cell at any point in that has to be created goes through and has contact with the cerebrospinal fluid, and therefore that's why I think we can create a new us every, I don't know, I think it's like by the end of every year we created every cell in our body is different. So when we start working with that energy, we can understand how to manifest faster and how to even change our body. That's I don't know if Dr. Dispenza talked about this is Greg Braden, but there is Dr. Dispenza too. This is Dispenza. But Greg Braden, I don't know if he has any books about any information about this, but I know he has a YouTube channel that is very good. Anyways, Dispenza talks about some things, but I don't know if he talks about the stem cell. I don't remember specific information about the stem cell, but Dr. Maro on YouTube does talks about the stem cells and how they communicate with the spinal fluid to create interactions. And I think what that's doing is actually like creating new energies within the cells, so we can communicate to the energy and tell the cells what we want them to do if we're very intentful about how we want to live this life. So I think that was pretty cool, so I'll definitely recommend that. I think that's all I have. I'm gonna do a pick a card next, so I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about the spinal fluid because I know it's one of the things that I noticed that is like major side effect. Like you will feel this liquid almost every day, if not every day, multiple times during the day. And there is a reason why that's happening, so you definitely need to pay attention to that and try to work with it so you can. That's almost like the Christo fluid is almost like the Christ, the spirit of Christ inside of you. This is like your window, your connection to the creator, and this liquid is sending information to our entire body. So when it comes down through the sacrum, is down to the vertebra, down to the sacrum. That's why we cannot have a pleasurable experience without this liquid, because this liquid is doing a lot of communication. And when we work with our chakras, this liquid become very important. So healers, people of anybody really needs to pay attention to this. I'm sure there are other videos on YouTube, but I haven't checked them out lately. I just wanted to do this for those people that are asking, like, how does this relate to the being a medium channeler? And it's because this is like the window to you opening and working with your third eye, and really working with the third eye. So the base is the base of the chakras, the root, the sacral, right? These chakras are very important because they're very connected to the vertebra, but this vertebra here has the connection from not only from our throne, but also the third eye and the crown. So it becomes like the inverted triangle, and the heart is in the middle. So it's very important for us to pay attention to that. So I hope that I gave you what I needed to give you, because I think I'm forgetting something, but that's all I have. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one.